Alright then guys, so we're here now, the new Syndicate. We've got 11 o'clock, everything out of the car, nets and everything dipped. Had a little walk around while everything was being dipped. Anyway, got to the swim and I've set myself up in kind of the end swim. A little bit of a corner swim if you like, but I'll show you the lake later on. Anyway, I've got the spod rod out, sent out a bare lead in the marker float and had a feel around, got a bit of an idea of the different depths that are out there, and there is some parts where it does go quite deep. I did manage to find from my first rod a little spot out towards the far bank, about 10 foot of water, but a really nice drop, really nice hard bottom when I'm pulling it back, and it just hits a bit of silt. As I said, about 14.5 wraps, so I've just set up on the edge of where the silt meets that firm spot, put about 10 spoms over the top, and then sent out a Ronnie rig on the button. So yeah, happy with that one. The next rod I set up was a zig. Rules, I can only have one rod on a zig on here, so I've set up an adjustable, and I've sent out that to just shy of the middle of the lake, and like I said, as I normally do, I'll work that up and down the column, and if I start to see any signs, I might even get a little mix of spod cloud ready to send that out. Then the last rod, so at this time the lake owner's come round and given me my ticket. I've introduced myself and just having a little chat to him really about this peg and kind of the plans for the lake, because it is a new Syndicate. And he did tell me that the last fish out of this swim wasn't actually that long ago, or only a few days ago, and it was around about 10 wraps out. So again, I've got the lead out, I've had a feel around, found a spot and it was about 10 wraps, maybe just over. So again, I put a bit of bait over that, not too many, about 5 or 6 spoms, and then dropped a spinner rig on that. I've actually got quite a few liners on that middle rod as well, so I'm hopeful that at some point today one of the 3 rods is going to rip off and we'll get our first Syndicate carp. So yeah, the lake itself, the swims are starting to take shape now. As you can tell, there's a bit of work been going into the fishery. I think there's a stocking of original fish that have been in for years, and I think this lake itself has not been fished on for a little bit of time. So yeah, 250 stocked carp, as well as the originals, up to I think 36-37 pound, and there's believed to be around 3-4 fish pushing the 30 mark, and plenty of 20s in as well. And I'll put some pictures up, because the stock that's gone in, you can just see from the strain of them, massive shoulders, look like they're really going to grow on over the years. So yeah, I'm really happy with this ticket so far. Maybe do a few seasons on here, see if we can crack out a few swims and get a few of the nice carp on the bank. But yeah, I'm just going to keep my eye on the water. Like I said, my first visit, so I've got a lot of learning, figuring out to do. Apologies if anyone was kind of looking for them what Ladywood Lake videos. I did actually do a few sessions on there, and that was my original plan, and then this ticket came up, and I just couldn't say no, I couldn't turn it down. There's 2 waters now. You can have a ticket for both, Strawberry and Newland, which is the one I'm on now is the Newland. There's a few videos out. I think Lozies has done a video on Strawberry Ponds, if you want to check it out on his YouTube channel. Some absolutely cracking fish in there. But yeah, I'm hoping to get some decent carp out there over the time, and I'm booked on now at least 48 hours every month right up until the end of summer, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do next winter. I was actually out more this winter than I think I've ever been, so I really did enjoy my winter fishing. There is some, like I said, some really deep areas of this lake, I think up to 30 foot, so chances are I might just see this through right through the winter and see how it fishes. So yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on the water. Just seen a few signs now. I think there's definitely fish down here. Like I said, the sun is absolutely beaming, the pressure's high, but there was a really nice breeze as well, blowing straight across my swim. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Cheers guys. Well guys, there was no fish on this first quick overnighter, unfortunately. I did figure out a bit more about the lake though, and actually found depths of around 60 foot in the middle of the lake. The bottom is up and down like an egg box, so each swim's going to take some careful investigating to find the spots to present for the fish. But we'll keep trying. So guys, for my second visit, I set up here in the point swim. No fish for this, again, it was only a 24-hour visit. But this swim gave me loads of water to go at, have a good lead around, and just get an idea for what's going on the bottom of the lake. I definitely found now it's getting a little bit warmer that the bottom is absolutely covered in a few different variants of thick weed. So I really had to think about what rigs I were going to start using moving forward. We're back on the Syndicate today, our third session now. So we're hoping all the things we've learned on the other two sessions we can put into practice today and hopefully get some fish on the bank. Got here early yesterday morning, had a walk around while everything was dipping in the tank, just to kind of get an idea of what's going on and see if I could see any signs of fish. Didn't see anything really, to be honest, that was screaming out at me, but I've picked a swim in the shallow bay this time, and that looks good for a bite. The wind was absolutely crashing in. All down the kind of right hand margin there's a lot of bulrushes and reeds, so I thought, you know, the fish potentially could be holding up in there. It's a tactic I've used on other lakes that has served me well. So yeah, so I set up in this swim. I will put, I'll put some drone footage up so you can get a bit of an idea for the lake and where I'm set up. Now, the issue with this swim is it is really, really weedy. To be honest, I've had a scan around and there's hardly any spots to kind of present confidently on the bottom. So what I've done is stripped all the rods back and changed them over to helicopter setups, pushing the bead up the leader, so you know, as the lead drops, the rig's moving up and hopefully going to be sat just nicely on top of the weed. And then a couple of tactics. Started off with 2 rods on Ronnie's and 1 rod on a solid bag. Just thinking, you know, that mouthful might be enough to snag a fish. Anyway, about last light yesterday, so it must have been 10:30ish. I did see a fish show a bit further out across the reed line than what I was fishing. But again, you know, I know I leaded earlier on the day. I knew the weed was a bit thicker there, so I brought the solid bag in. I changed that over to an helicopter setup, and this time I put one of my slip D combi rigs on, just a little bit of a longer section of the armour weave material. So no, you know, that rig had to be presented no matter what. So yeah, got the head torch on, brought it in, made the changes, and sent the rig out. A little bit of bait over the top. And yeah, then I got in bed, and then at 5 o'clock this morning I started to get a few liners, a couple of consecutive liners, so enough to make me get up and have a little look at the water. And yeah, half an hour later, about 5:30, the middle rod ripped off, which was the rod that I changed, so absolutely delighted with that. I'll show a picture now of that catch. So yeah, the plan moving forward, obviously I've got the rig back on the spot, and I did send the drone out this morning once the sun had come up, and there is a nice shoal of fish again over that middle rod. I know my other 2 rods are on good spots, because again I sent the camera over just to kind of have a look what's going on, but the bulk of the fish are all hovering over that middle rod, the one that's already produced the fish. So yeah, I'm hopeful. Got another 24 hours to go. Like I said, we'll show you the rigs, talk a little bit more about the tactics fishing in this heavy weed, and if anything else happens, we get any more fish on the bank, we'll let you know. Cheers guys. Alright then guys, so as I said earlier, we've been lucky enough to get a cracking looking mirror on the bank early hours this morning. So since then I've reset the right hand rod, got the reset the middle rod, and got the rig switched over. So as I mentioned, we're fishing the slip decombi rig. This is how it sets up. So there's 2 crimp loops to the armoured boom material, nice and stiff, and that's going to flick the the rig out for me when fishing it on a lead clip or fishing it on the early setup as I am today. And then I've gone for quite a long, probably what, 3-4 inches of soft braided material. I've chosen the armour weave, really supple, really easy to tie, and I've just looped that on, so I tied it into a long kind of 3-4 inch loop, if you like, so it's looped at both ends. Loop onto the boom material, then through the eye of the hook, thread on your ringed bait screw, and then over the point of the hook to make your D. A little bit of shrink tubing on there, as you can see. That just helps set the hook and stop the D from slipping too easily. So what that's allowing me to do is fish in this kind of thick weed just beyond it, in the low-lying weed. As the helicopter lands, the lead will go down, this will sink nice and slow, critically balanced, and we'll just sit on top of the weed like so. And that's done the trick, got me the bite so far. I'm going to bring the left hand rod in now and get that switched over as well, and hopefully we can snag another nice carp. Well, good morning. It's morning on the last day now, and yeah, what started off as a real high and a really positive session on the Syndicate, with that nice fish on the bank, is started to really frustrate me. Yeah, figured out obviously over the 3 trips what rigs I need to be using, what setup I need to be using to present really well on this lake, and that proved, you know, the fish came, and to be honest the bites didn't stop. You know, figured out bite times, rested the swim when I needed to. It helped because the owner actually put a barbecue on for everyone on the lake last night, which was brilliant. So the rods came out of the water for a good few hours, and then straight back out on the spots before first light, before last light, sorry. So yeah, reason why it's frustrating is because, as I said, the bites carried on, but I've not got any more fish on the bank. So what's happened with the first one is about 2:30 this morning. The left hand rod actually on a new spot where I saw showing fish again at night, and that was the first one to go, and it's just fishing up to the rushes across to the far bank. So fishing quite locked up, but the fish at distance is banked to the right straight off and straight into another set of rushes, so I was just not able to free it from there, and the hooks pulled in the end. Then 3:30 I had, I think it was only described as a phantom run, and this was my right hand rod, so I was up and out straight onto the rod, but as I've struck into that there was nothing there. So I got both the rods back out at that point. Then about 15 minutes ago, so it would have been about 6:30 in the morning, my left hand rod again went. This time it's still banked right, but I managed to get it through the rushes, back in play, and literally hook pulled at the net. Absolutely sickening. Not much can be done about it, you know, these things happen, but and I suppose I've got to try and take every silver lining and all that. You know, the rigs are working, the fish are biting. I think these couple of, you know, there's always things to learn. There's a couple of things I could take away from this third session, but I'm happy next time I come I'll be able to locate the fish, find some good spots, and just feel confident that my rigs are going to do the business. And they're definitely loving the bait. No other fish out, no other runs on the lake. They're getting their head down and they're munching on this insector and fish mix combination. So yeah, I'm going to log off now unless anything else happens, start a slow pack down and go and get myself a nice breakfast somewhere. Thanks for watching, guys.